Now this one is particularly frustrating.
Boy, Gracie May.
Gracie May, do you need to go to the bedroom? Come.
Let's go to...
Come, baby May.
I know. Look
Hi,
at this.
baby May.
Everyone starts to...
It's okay, baby May.
Hey guys, before we get started, we wanted to let you know that there's some new stuff up on our Etsy store. We've been creating these downloadable digital files. They're PDFs that you can download and print for your vegan activist needs or your home decor needs. So make sure to check those out. Also get in on the shirts. We have like 3 of these left and they will be gone forever. Also check out our stickers and pins.
And we also want to say a massive, massive thank you to all of our patrons on Patreon. Every single dollar that you donate on Patreon, as well as all the proceeds of our Etsy store, go directly into our Animal Rescue Fund. Thank you so much to our long-time, our short-time patrons. And if you like the channel, if you like what we have to say, you get some sort of value out of this content that we provide for you, if you want to become a Patreon patron, the link is in the description below.
We also wanted to let you know that we are done with Facebook officially. We are no longer on Facebook. We are no longer on Instagram. YouTube is our preferred way to connect with you, so please reach out to us here or email us. On to the video. Many vegans have what we call a vegan-niversary. That's a day that we choose to stop participating in needless animal abuse and we align our actions with our values. And we suppose we have a vegan-niversary too, technically, but we don't remember what it is. We happened to be at a Trader Joe's one day in late 2015, early 2016. Don't really know. And we looked at our basket and we noticed that the only non-vegan item in the basket was this package of shredded cheese. And we thought, well, if we leave this packet, we're gonna have an entirely vegan haul. So we did it. And we kept doing it. And this was around the time that we watched the Erin Janice videos too. So we were starting to really make the connection. But we've been vegan for about 6 years now. And we thought we'd share with you the top 6 things we are tired of hearing and see if you can relate to any of them. Of course, these are personal to us. You might not have heard any of these yourself, but please let us know what yours are in the comments below.
Number 6, what do you eat / what should I bring? Yeah, now this one is particularly frustrating because both of these questions, what do you guys eat or what should I bring to your vegan party, they can both be answered with a 30-second Google search. You can just type it into the device that's actually in your pocket currently. Now, when people ask this question, they're trying to make veganism seem so extreme and so inconvenient that they can't even fathom a single item that a vegan would eat, regardless of the fact that non-vegans eat vegan food every single day. Things like oatmeal, many breakfast cereals, fruit, vegetables, legumes like beans and split peas and chickpeas, grains like pasta and bread, potatoes,
chips,
lentils, French fries, salads. The list just keeps going on, but this question is usually asked, and it's usually asked in sort of a befuddled way to try to minimize veganism and just make it seem silly, when veganism is simply the belief that animals should be treated like the sentient beings that they are. Maybe if we care about cats and dogs, we should also care about cows and chickens.
But let's say the intention behind the question is honest and sincere. Again, we revert back to our old friend, Google. Number 5, where do you get your blank? Yes, believe it or not, this is still a question we get asked. Whether it be calcium, iron, B12, or the legendary protein, so many non-vegans still can't seem to grasp that plants have nutrients. And so many of them. It doesn't seem to matter how often we point this out. People still seem to reach for the meat and dairy propaganda to try to make themselves feel good about their bad habits. I mean, do you have an iPhone? Or maybe an Alexa? Or maybe not, just Google. Just type or ask, how much blank is in blank?
Alexa, how much protein is in red lentils?
1 cup of pink lentils has 18 grams of protein.
There you go.
It's like 3 eggs worth of protein.
without the saturated fat and cholesterol.
And torture of female chickens and murder of baby male chickens.
So if you have access to a computation machine of some kind, like the device you're currently staring at, you may type this question into it and gain knowledge. You can also use Chronometer or Dr. Greger's Daily Dozen to keep track of what you're taking in each day.
Number 4. Yeah, I'm trying to cut down on meat or dairy or eggs or insert animal product here because now I feel uncomfortable that I'm talking to you, a vegan. With this one, let's just replace the victim. If you told someone you were against dog abuse and they immediately responded with, oh yes, I'm trying to cut down on how often I kick my dog, would you congratulate them? Would you tell them, it's okay, at least you're trying to stop kicking your dog. I know it's really hard to stop kicking your dog. Or would you be completely put off by their inability to understand what it means to be anti-dog abuse? And that's what veganism is. You just replace dog with animal. Veganism is an anti-animal abuse belief. We understand that our society is so indoctrinated that everyone just accepts the everyday animal abuse that exists in our everyday lives. And many non-vegans don't fully understand what veganism is. They might even see this comment as a positive one, like they're trying to form an alliance with you. Hey, you're vegan, I'm trying to cut down on animal products, that's a good thing, right? But if you're watching this video right now and you're not vegan, please know this. Trying to cut down on animal abuse does not make any vegans feel any better. In fact, it might make the vegan that you're talking to feel worse because now you're actually acknowledging what you're doing. You're acknowledging the badness of eating animal products, but you're trying to cut back on it.
Yeah, it's so awkward. You are admitting that you know you're doing something wrong,
Yeah.
but you're continuing to do it a little bit.
Usually a lot of it. Let's be real.
What are we supposed to say? I mean, like, we get it. I mean, it's just, I think now speaking from the perspective of being vegan for 6 years and knowing that we used to say that and how little sense it made, that's the point of this video.
Yeah.
We now coming from the perspective of the point in time that we are in now.
Less animal abuse is better than more animal abuse, but it's not a very comforting statement to hear.
No.
Like if someone tells me, oh, I cut red meat out of my diet, that's great. You're no longer paying for cows and pigs to be killed. Okay, so we'll add cows and pigs to the list of animals you're not paying to be killed, I guess, but...
Abuse is still abuse.
Yeah.
Number 3, oh, that's why you're so thin, or whatever physical description someone might assign to you. Depending on the person and the tone, the intention behind this kind of statement might be meant as an attempt at a compliment or as a joke to imply that they might not be very happy with the way they look, or it might be meant as an insult. Veganism has nothing to do with the way you look. Vegans, much like non-vegans, come in all shapes and sizes. And that can depend on a variety of factors, your activity level, the kinds of plant-based foods you're eating, etc., etc., etc. Now, non-vegans might not be commenting on other non-vegans' body image the way they so much more often do about vegans' body image because their qualms are not really about body image. They have to do with the conflict they feel in their conscience for choosing a lifestyle that continues to support the exploitation of animals. And let's not forget, the way people look, it is an opinion, and someone's opinion about the way you look has no bearing on the ethics of veganism.
Number 2, I could never go vegan, or I could never give up, insert animal product here. Usually it's cheese.
Usually it's cheese.
Usually it's cheese. First of all, most of the people who say this have never even tried plant-based alternatives. I mean, maybe they had like an Impossible Whopper one time, or maybe they got the Sofritas burrito at Chipotle one time, but when you look at the totality of plant-based alternatives, they are in the thousands. And people will just say, oh, I could never eat all of these thousands of foods that I've never had. The people who say this are the kind of people who are just afraid of the word vegan being in the name of any food product that they put in their face, because they're probably afraid that they won't like it, or maybe they're afraid that they will like it, and that will confirm that a plant-based burger is just as delicious, if not more delicious, than an animal-based burger. And then they'd have to feel bad. Then they'd have to look in here and go, ah.
And that's scary.
Yeah, I don't like that. They're also the kind of people who might be at a party and they might reach for the cheese plate or reach for the donuts, but as soon as they find out that they're vegan, then they grimace and they walk away. And a big problem is that most people don't know about the animal suffering that goes into these animal products because, oh, I could never watch that footage from Dominion. I could never watch that slaughterhouse footage.
It's too hard.
That vigil footage.
It's too hard.
I can't. You're amazing, but I, me, my, me. And so this idea of, oh, I could never be vegan, I could never give up cheese, it just comes off as ignorant and selfish and egocentric. It implies that the animal product is separate from the living, sentient being that it came from, that it was taken from forcefully. And again, if we replace the victim, it's the equivalent of saying, oh, I could never give up kicking cats. I love it. I love it so much, and good for you for not kicking cats. The animal product that most people seem to have trouble giving up is, of course, cheese. A common misconception is that cows don't die for cheese. But oh yes, they do. The mother cows who are milked incessantly for 5 to 7 years have their babies stolen from them. They get ground up into hamburgers. Baby male cows get shot in the head when they're babies because they'll never produce milk. And the daughter calves go right back into the dairy industry. So yes, cows do die for cheese. And if people knew that, if they finally took off the blinders, they would just pick up some plant-based cheese and shush.
Number one. Vegan diet. The term vegan diet is thrown around like it exists. Even vegans use it. Even we've used it. Completely accidentally. Maybe in this video, I don't know. But we always try to self-correct because it's just so ingrained. And it's just, there's no such thing as a vegan diet.
Yeah, it's not a thing. It does not exist. A vegan diet does not exist.
Because veganism seeks to exclude the exploitation of animals. And some people might claim to be on a vegan diet but still purchase wool and leather products or just not be concerned with the ethics at all.
You can eat 100% plant-based and still go to SeaWorld.
And this is why the all too common "why I'm no longer vegan" videos gain so much traction and create so much confusion. You know who we're talking about by now. We don't know what people think a vegan diet is because the way you structure a diet varies in so many different ways. There is not one single kind of vegan diet, just like there is not one single kind of a non-vegan diet. Impressionable people will fall for these "why I'm no longer vegan" videos because they think it's the diet that failed the person and not the other way around, when veganism really starts in the heart, not in the mouth. So that's it.
So that's our 6 things we're tired of hearing after 6 years of veganism. Did any of these resonate with you? Have you guys heard these things? What are your least favorite things that you hear if you're a longtime vegan or a brand new vegan?
Yeah, I wonder if they change.
Maybe they change over time.
You're 10 years in, 20 years in, 30 years in.
6 months in.
A weekend.
Let us know what you're tired of hearing down below. And again, we want to say a huge thank you to our patrons on Patreon. You can find our Patreon link down below. Check out our Etsy store. Hit that like button, that subscribe button, the notification bell if that still works. I don't know what YouTube's doing, but if you want to be notified, that's your best shot. Bye.
Happy vegan-niversary to us. Happy vegan-niversary to us. Happy vegan-niversary to us. Happy vegan-niversary to us.
I
thought you were going to
do the harmony.
Well, you didn't, so I did it on the last note and it was terrible.
We can go unison. The Beatles sang in unison a lot.
Yeah.
You know, on the recordings.
Yeah.
They did a lot of harmony, but a lot in unison.
Tony! Alexa, turn off hallway. I wonder if he looked over. Okay. Hi.
Antonito.
Time to go to bed.
It's bedtimes,
No,
Bubby.
almost.
My goodness.
Okay.
6:30, it's already dark.
Did you?
If the lighting in this video looked different, that's because it is. It now gets dark at like 4:30 p.m. here on the West Coast.
Yeah, much like on the East Coast, I think. Now we're pretty caught
Is
up.
it dark?
I
over there
think
too?
so.
Yeah. Got that old daylight savings thing that it's just a thing that's existed my whole life and I've never understood it.
Yeah, that doesn't exist in Costa Rica. We don't need it.
No. You're so close to the equator.
Yeah.
Your days are
I know,
identical.
they're kind of the same all year round.